Greetings, it's Iain from RDO here. Welcome to Wednesday, welcome to the last of the June dozens, where we've been going through bands with 12 albums in their catalogue. Now before I start, I've had to open the window here in HQ. It's been you can't have your windows wide open in the middle of the night, so I've opened them up a little bit to let some fresh air in. So if you hear outside noises, I do apologise, but Rocky and I like to breathe. So today we're going to end the June dozens with a power metal band from Germany who have been around a long time. They were formed in Krefeld in West Germany and they are called Blind Guardian. They go down as one of the most influential bands in the power metal and speed metal subgenres. Along with Halloween, they've produced, Germany has produced two very good power metal bands. The other thing you notice about them, their covers are fantastic. I've already done a covers ranking, so it's about time we did the actual albums. I really like this band. I like Halloween, so there's nothing you're going to not dislike about these. Now this band, although they were formed in 1984, they've only ever had 9 musicians in the band. When they were formed, it's by the singer now Hansi Kirsch, Andre Ulbrich, he's still with the band, Marcus Dork was on guitar then, and Toman Starch on drums. They briefly went to a quintet, and they had Thomas Kellners on vocals as well, but he left. And in February of this year, Hansi said that there'll be real songwriting for their 13th album, which will be due out next year, so we've got something to look forward to. So we've got 12 albums, as I said, so let's go through these great albums. All of them are good. There's not a bad album in this list at all. There's nothing bad about any of them. So it was a tough one again. I hate it when it's like this, because when they're all good, it makes my job twice as hard. So, coming in at number 12, this was released in 2019, and it's called Legacy of the Dark Lands. Now, this is a different dark departure. It features the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra with just singer Hansi Kirsch, the only member of the band to appear on this. And the album is actually credited to the Blind Guardian Twilight Orchestra instead of Blind Guardian. So you've got Hansi Kirsch, who sings on here, and you've got the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra with Norman Ashley narrating and Douglas Fielding. So the first track is called the 1618 Overture. Really good overture, lots of creepy noises and sort of stuff like that. Then it goes into a track called Feeds War. Absolutely brilliant track. It's how amazing how you can get like a power metal sound done on an orchestra. Absolutely cracking track. Dark Cloud Rising, my favourite track. It just stands out from the rest. Instead of getting them riffs done on guitar, you've got it done on the cellos and that. It's just incredible. I do like metal and classical sounding tracks. In the Underworld is a fine vocal from Hansi, really good. The Great Ordeal, it's okay. Some work and some don't. In the Red Dwarf's Tower, nothing wrong with this one again. Treason is full of heart. It's a wonderful track. It's got strings, it's got flute. It's a very strange vocal from Hansi, but it's okay. The Point of No Return, it's okay. Nothing. Nephilim. If this was a power ballad, this would be a proper power ballad if it had guitars in it. Harvesters of Soul, brilliant song, brilliant piece of music. Love it. It's just incredible. The Storm, great vocal from Hansi, nice, gentle, not gentle but really interesting. Beyond the World, we've got a choir in this, the piano, a little bit of harp. I like how this builds up. This album is pretty good. It's very clever how they've just, Hans has just done it with an orchestra. I like it. It's an oddment, and that's why it's at the bottom. It's at number 12. It's not because I dislike it. It's just an odd album to have in there. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in at number 11, we go to 2002, and this is the 7th album, and it's called A Night of the Opera, and it is named after the Queen album, and of course that's named after a Marx Brothers. So Blind Guardian on here are Hansi Kirsch, Andre Olbrich, Marcus Sipen on rhythm guitar, Toham Storch on drums, and we've got guest musicians Oliver Holsworth on bass, Matthias Weiner on keyboards, Michael Sushan on piano. We've got Pad Bender, Boris Schmidt, and Sasha Piero on keyboards as well. And first track on this one is called Precious Jerusalem. I wouldn't. This is one. The music sounds good, but I don't know what was wrong with Hansi's voice. It was a little bit off kilter on this, but it's still a good track. Then we get Battlefield. Love the drums in this. From Tohem. It's brilliant. Absolutely typical sort of power metal drums. Lots of choirs in this, not a bad track. Under the Ice. This lacks a little bit. There's not enough bass in it. It seems to be sort of muted a little bit. It doesn't sound right without a meaty bass line. Sadly Sings Destiny, one of my favourite tracks on here. The guitar work between Marcus and Andre is absolutely amazing. Really good. Then my favourite track on here is called The Maiden and the Minstrel Knight. It's quirky. It's like a metal medieval sort of arrangement, and I think it works very well. Wait for an Answer, solid track. Nothing wrong with that one. The Soul Forged. It's a really good track. You can hear the bass on that. It's a bit more meaty. Some nice drumming here as well. Pretty good. Age False Innocence. It sort of carries on a little bit from the previous track, and it's really good. I like that one. Then we got Punishment Divine. Toham's drums are pretty good. I love how the drums work in this one. And then we get And There Was Silence. Dramatic, orchestral metal sort of working together. Brilliant little track. It was the last track. As much as I like this album, I think it needs a little bit more bass in some of the songs. It's lacking it in places. I don't know why, but there we go. But I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Coming in at number 10, we go to 2010, and it's their 9th album, and it's called At the Edge of Time. So on here, Hansi is on the vocals, Andre and Marcus are doing the guitars. We've got a new drummer, Frederick Imeke on drums, and Oliver Holsworth plays bass guitar on this. First track is called Sacred Worlds. Great opening. I love the orchestral bit at the beginning. And then you got Marcus and Andre coming in with them great riffs. Another fantastic vocal from Hansi. Then we have Tain Lord, Into the Void. Speed metal at its best. And the drumming from Frederick is absolutely fantastic. And double bass drums are working overtime on that one. Road of No Release is our next track. My favourite one on here. I love the strings with this. The guitar at the beginning is wonderful, and that orchestral sound on the guitar is wonderful. Ride Into Obsession, strong track, proper sort of speed metal. Lots of little riffs and little licks thrown in there. Curse My Name I love the military drum on this. It sounds like a military drums. Very good, and it's got a bit of Celtic feel to it as well. Valkyries, brilliant. Frederick's drumming again, absolutely on the board with a great vocal from Hansi. Super stuff. Control the Divine, a good track. The guitar work from Andre and Marcus is brilliant. Two great guitar players. War of the Thrones. It's a little bit different. This is. It's very Renaissance music. It's more suited on a Blackmore's Night album than a Blind Guardian, but I like it. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit different for them. A Voice in the Dark. It's okay. It's pretty decent. And then the last track, Reel of Time. Combination of orchestra and metal again, which it does sound good. It's a great track to end the album. This is a very good album. Some great tracks on here. Another consistent, does what it says on the tin album from Blind Guardian. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.2. Time for a bit of coffee. It's really warm already here. Okay, coming in number 9, we go to 1992 for the 4th album, and it's called Somewhere Far Beyond. It's got Hansi on it, it's got Andre and Marcus, and he's now changed his name to Thomas Storch. Guest musicians on here, we got Piet Silik on effects guitars, Matthias Weisner on effects and keyboards, Rolf Koller, Billy King and Calais Tapp backing vocals, Stefan Bill on piano, Peter Rubsam Scottish and Irish bagpipes, and Kai Hansen, yes, the Kai Hansen from Halloween, and Gamma Ray on lead guitar on The Quest for Tainlawn. So the first track is called Time, What is Time? Really like the beginning again. It's got some acoustic guitar, then the electric guitars come in with a huge boom from the drums. Very good opening track. Journey Through the Dark. Love the rhythm on this. I think this is Marcus doing the rhythm on this. It's got a it really churns out the engine room of that track. Great little track. Black Chamber opens up with a little piano piece with a great vocal from Hansi. Super little track. Theatre of Pain, the theatrical start. Oh, wonderful. And then it's got an absolutely belting guitar solo, probably from Andre. Absolutely top draw stuff. Then we have my favourite track on here, The Quest for Tainlawn. It is my favourite. It's got a lovely acoustic guitar, but that guitar solo from Kai Hansen really adds. You know, him of Halloween, and he's a great guitarist, and it's great that, you know, the two big powerhouses of speed metal coming together for this track. Ashes to Ashes. Love the bass line on here from Oliver. Really gritty and dirty, and you get some great guitar licks thrown in as well. It's just a great track. The Bard's Song in the Forest. Some lovely harmonies on here. This sort of metal stylized span. Very good. Then we have the Bard's Song, The Hobbit. Really nice acoustic again. It's not, you know, speed metal is not all about crash bang wallop sometimes and this sort of music, but it's a great vocal by Hansi. The Piper's Calling. We've got the bagpipes on here. Now I know Jimmy Barnes doesn't like metal, but he'll like this because it's got pipes on it and bagpipes. It's very, very Celtic. I like this. But then again, Jimmy's got his Irish roots, and I've got Irish and Scottish roots, so that's why we like the bagpipes, I think. So yeah, hope you check that one out, Jimmy. Somewhere Far Beyond is the last track. Starts off with a real power metal stuff, and then halfway through it goes Celtic with more bagpipes. Nothing wrong with that. Good track to end the album. This is a really good album. I love the use of bagpipes and other instruments on this album. making it a little bit more different. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.4. Okay, coming in at number 8. This is the most recent album, and it came out in 2022. And it's number 12, and it is The God Machine. So on here is Hansi doing the vocals, Andre on the lead guitar, Marcus on the rhythm, Fredericks on the drums. Guest musicians, we've got Barend Cowboy on bass, Thomas Grieger on keyboards, Joost van Broek on keyboards as well. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, first track is called Deliver Us From Evil. We've got some lovely harmonising guitars that sort of complement each other. A great vocal from Hansi. He's singing as strong as ever on this album. Damnation. I love the guitar work on here, especially that rhythm from Marcus. You get Andre just coming in on the top, adding a little bit to it. It's a really good track. My favourite on this is called Secrets of the American Gods. It's got a very melodic feel to it. There's some great vocals from Hansi. The backing vocals on this are so important as well. Really gives it that extra depth. Violent Shadows, driving riffs here from Marcus. Really got that real sort of speed metal riff. Incredible stuff. Life Beyond the Spheres. The keyboards on this, it really gives it extra depth, and it's got an amazing guitar solo from Andre. Architects of Doom. Love these titles. One thing about this one, it's got that sort of typical sort of speed metal start. Then it goes into that 100-mile-an-hour powerful drums. Excellent song. Then we have a track called Let It Be No More. Very nice vocal. It's a nice little sort of ballad song. It's pretty good. Blood of Elves. This is an interesting track. You've got that double bass drum that I love. There's some technical guitar things in here as well. Amazing what they do. It's a great little track. Destiny. I'm not quite sure who's doing the guitar at the beginning. It's either, I don't know if it is Andre or Marcus, but it gives it some atmosphere. And then it goes in. It's very operatic. This is for metal. It's operatic metal and wonderful. Great track to end the album. But once again, you've got a great album. They're still pumping it out of good quality speed metal. No fancy stuff. It's, I'm so much looking forward to the new album. This is a great album. I was really impressed when this came out, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 7, once again we got a wonderful cover. All these covers are great. I will put in at the end so you can look. I did that video on their covers so you can have a look at them. We took them in much more detail. So at number 7, it's the 8th album, 2006 this one come out, and it's called A Twist in the Myth. So the band, of course, is Hansi, Andre, Marcus, Fredericks on the drums on this, Oliver is on the bass, and the choir company is Olaf Schickerbell, Rolf Koller, Thomas Hackerman, Martin G. Mayer, and Pat Benenza. Also does keyboards as well. First track on this one is called This Will Never End. No intro, straight into it, bang. Love Oliver's bass line on this, absolutely terrific. Otherland, I love the beginning of this. It's sort of mystical, and you just get that solid sound on the guitars as well. Turn the Page, I love Andre and Marcus's interplay between this. They seem to just play off each other. Throw in a great drum roll from Frederick, and yeah, it's a pretty solid track. Fly comes next. And another unusual track, it's a little bit different. The Marcus Frederick's drumming at the beginning is pretty interesting. Then we have these meaty riffs and a great vocal from Hansi. Carry the Blessed Home. One of the more gentler tracks on here. It starts like a ballad and then it becomes a little heavier, but not speed metal. It's quite gentle, heavy power chords and sort of thing. Sort of a middle of the road power metal song. Another Stranger Me is next. Got a killer solo from Andre on this. It's a good track, but it's the solo that I love. Straight Through the Mirror, the drumming from Frederick is awesome on this. He never drops a beat, and another fine solo from Andre. Then we have my favourite track on here called Lionheart. The interplay between Marcus and Andre again is wonderful. You listen to that under the headphones, it's great. Then we have a track called Scalds and the Shadows, a very sort of a medieval minstrel song, and it's quite good, it's different. The Edge, typical power metal, the rolling double bass drums, the bass line just booms, and then you get the guitar riffs that keep coming in and out, and licks here and there, and then Hansi just sings great on it. The New Order, the last track, probably one of the most commercial sounding records by Blind Guardian. It's okay, I quite like it. It's a good vocal from Hansi. What can you say? Another solid album from Blind Guardian. Not a bad track on here. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.7. Okay, coming in at number 6, we've got the 10th album. Now, this was released in 2015, and it's called Beyond the Red Mirror. A concept album, which is a sequel to their other concept album, Imaginations from the Other Side. So, on here we have got Hansi, Andre, Marcus and Frederick. We got Bernard Kerboys on the bass on this one, Michael Shuren on the piano, Matthias Ulmer on keyboards and piano, Thomas Hackman, William Billy King, Olaf Chabel the choir, Charlie Burfold, he does production, I don't know why I put that on there. And then the orchestras are the Hungarian Studio Orchestra, conducted by Peter Pajeski, and the Philharmonic Orchestra Prague, Adam Klems is the conductor. So this is split into different sections. So the first section is actually called The Cleansing of the Promised Land. So the first track of this part is called The Ninth Wave. I like the start of this. You got these like Gregorian monks singing, and then you get some like the nuns come in, as I call it. So you get this lovely choral thing, and then it just bang into a great metal track. The guitar solo from Andre is brilliant. Frederick's drumming is super as well. Then we have Twilight of the Gods, rustic metal drums, great vocal from Hansi. Then we have part 2, The Awakening, and the first part of this is called Prophecies. This is just changes tempo halfway through. It goes from being slowish, melodic to this 100-mile-an-hour thing. But it's Marcus's rhythm guitar that controls that tempo. Very, very good. Then my favourite track on here is called At the Edge of Time. It's a mini story within a story. It's one of my favourite songs by Blind Guardian, full stop. There's just something about this song. It's got some brilliant singing from Hansi. It's got some very good guitar work. Excellent track. Then we go on to part 3, Disturbance in the Here and Now. First part of this is called Ashes of Eternity. Great drumming from Frederick on there. And we got some more great riffs and licks from Andre and Marcus. The Holy Grail. Nice gentle track here. It's very melodic. Orchestral bit works as well. Terrific. Then we have part 4, The Descending of the Nine, The Throne. My second favourite track on here. Dramatic start, that orchestra, and then the metal comes in to really boost the orchestral start. Excellent. Then we have part 5, The Fallen and the Chosen One. Sacred Mind, such a great start. Again, that eerie guitar. And then about 3/4 of the way through, you get this lovely riff come through from Marcus. Tremendous drumming from Frederick on that as well. Then we have Miracle Machine. Bit of piano and strings, nice harmonies. Super little track. Then we have part 6, Beyond the Red Mirror. And we have this thing called the Grand Parade. Dramatic, some great licks and riffs here from Andre. Just brilliant drumming from Frederick. The power metal drumming on this is good. This is an excellent closer. Love this concept album. All the songs on here. This is one of them you must listen to under the headphones all the way through. There's no skipping tracks. You put it on and you play it all the way through. It's a fantastic album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 5 is the other concept album, which is the prequel of The Red Mirror, Imaginations from the Other Side. This is the 5th album, and it was released in 1995. So it's Hansi, Andre, Marcus, Thomas Stauch, guest musicians on here. Hansi plays bass on this one as well. Guest musicians are Matthias Basner on effects, Jacob Moth acoustic guitar, Billy King, Hacky Hackerman, Rolf Collar, Pierre Sleek and Ronnie Atkins do the backing vocals. First track is the title track, Imaginations from the Other Side. Another, not the dramatic start, it's just boom, straight in. Ripping riffs, great vocal from Hansi on that. I'm Alive, nothing to do with Halloween's I'm Alive, but it's a great vocal from Hansi. The drumming on this, you know, they've been lucky to have 2 great drummers, and then there's no difference between them. Absolutely fine performance there from Tom. A past and a future secret. A little minstrel song. I like it how they throw in these minstrel songs. It's a very minstrel, something straight out of the 12th century. Wonderful. Then we have the script for My Requiem, the bass line from Hansi on this. It's absolutely brilliant. What a very solid track. Love this. Then we got More Red Song, my favourite song on here. It's another sort of minstrel melodic track and that powers up. It's really good. Born in a Mourning Hall is next. The highlight of this is the drumming. Absolutely brilliant. Bright Eyes, nothing to do with Art Garfunkel. It's a real melodic song. Great structure. The harmonies are great. I love that. Another Holy War is our next track. Some great guitar from Marcus and Andre on here. They complement each other so well. And the last track is And the Story Ends. Power chords. Lots of them. Great vocal. Good track to end the album. Yeah, another good solid album. Another one of them that you just cannot just drop and play the odd track. You put it on and you play it together. It's nice sometimes just to play this album and the Red Mirror after each other, and you get the sort of the gist of it. Great way to do it. That's how I did it for this ranking. I put them together because it's like they are sort of together. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, moving into the top 4 now. It got harder and harder to put these in my order of ranking. It was a tough one. So coming in at number 4, we have the 3rd album from 1990, and it's called Tales from the Twilight World. Hansi's on vocals and bass on this. Andre doing the lead and backing vocals and guitars. Marcus on the rhythm and backing vocals. Thomas Stauch on the drums. Guest appearances, Kai Hansen again. Does some backing vocals and the guitar solo on The Last Candle. Piet Sleek, who's in a band called Iron Saviour along with Kai Hansen. backing vocals, Matthias Weisner again on keyboards, and we've got Rolf Koller, Aki Hackerman and Calais Trapp on the backing vocals. First track on here is called Traveller in Time. I love this, it's absolutely brilliant. Power metal at its best. Excellent track. Welcome to the Dying. Love the start of this, the little short sharp drums from Thomas, throwing some great rolling riffs, rhythm riffs from Marcus. Wonderful. Then we have this little instrumental, about a minute long, and it's called Weird Dreams. It's some little bit of guitar playing from Andre, pretty good. Then we have Lord of the Rings. The guitar on this, there's some strange guitar effects on this one. It's very melodic. I do like it when they do their melodic stuff. Great vocal from Hansi. Goodbye My Friend. The drumming on here from Thomas is really good. And then you get this sort of real grunty, deeper voice from Hansi. Lost in the Twilight Hall, my second favourite on here. Okay, it's got Kai Hansen doing the backing vocals, you can hear it, but it's actually for Andre's guitar work. Absolutely brilliant. Some of the best I've heard him do with the band. Then we have a track called Tommy Knockers. Interesting title, isn't it? Thomas's drumming is absolutely brilliant. Proper rolling power metal, double bass, powerful riffs. Excellent track. Then we have Altair 4, brilliant track. The drumming, it's just Thomas's drumming. Brilliant. Everyone else plays superb, but the drumming on here just makes it even better. Then we have my favourite track, and it's called The Last Candle. It's got an amazing Kai Hansen guitar solo. He's done some great solos in his time, but this is a brilliant one. I consider this one of his best. Very Halloween when he was, when he started out as well. Absolutely brilliant track. Great track in the album. I think this has got some of Thomas's best drum that he did in Blind Guardian. It's absolutely brilliant on here. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have the debut album from 1988. It's called Battalions of Fear. The band on here is Hansi, Andre, Marcus and Thomas. Guest musicians on here, we have a guest drummer, Hans Peter Frey on Gandalf's Rebirth. We've got Christoph Thiessen on rhythm on Gandalf's Rebirth. And we got Rolf Koller and Michael Voss on backing vocals. So the first track on here is just called Majesty. This has got so much style of Halloween on it. It's quirky, that little keyboard run. Great bass line. I do like this. Absolutely brilliant track. Guardian of the Blind. This was when there was that real surge of power metal with Halloween and Blind Guardian leading the charge. Thomas is drumming on this again. It's absolutely tremendous. The riffs are good. Hansi's vocals on this are incredible. Trial by the Archon, which is instrumental. It's a little Andre thing again. Pretty good. Wizard's Crown. Brilliant. Brilliant track. The licks and the guitar work. It's absolutely fantastic. Considering what was happening with the rest of the world with rock and metal. All this smooth nonsense. This wasn't. This was raw. This was fast. This was a breath of fresh air. Absolutely great. Run for the Night is next. That fast, furious drumming at the beginning, brilliant, and then you get this real chuggy little rhythm from Marcus. Hansi's vocals are brilliant. The Martyr, the bass line on this is terrific. Another good track. Then we have the title track, Battalions of Fear. My favourite track on here. I like how it's one of them tracks that the tempo changes halfway through. It starts to be more melodic, and then comes the thundering drum rolls of Thomas to take it up a gear. Then we have the Gates of Moira, which is an instrumental thing. More stunning guitar licks from Andre. He's on fire. A great debut album. It was lucky that we had Halloween and Blind Guardian not doing 80s production, or would have been totally bemused. And I love this album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.6. Okay then, coming in at number 2, we have their second album from 1989. It's called Follow the Blind. Joining the band on here, we have Kai Hansen, who does singing on Valhalla and the guitar solo, and the guitar solo on Hall of the King, and we have Matthias Weisner on the keyboards. First track on this one is called Inquisition. It's a little short thing, and it's Gregorian monk chant. Very, very, I think this is going to be interesting, but it doesn't last for long, because after that, boom, banished from the sanctuary. Straight in, power riffs, chords, drumming, thumping vocals from Hansi. Very good. Damned for All Time. Now this song actually reminds me of that very early Walls of Jericho Halloween. It's just a very, very good track. Then we have Follow the Blind, my favourite on here. Now this reminds me so much of the track Halloween by Halloween. It follows the same structure. The singing from Hansi is brilliant. It's an absolute epic, and I really like that. Then we have Hall of the King. Great track again, added by a wonderful Kai Hansen solo. Very good. Then we have Fast to Madness, great little track. Some great guitar work from Andre, and Hansi's vocals are just... Then we go to Beyond the Ice, which is a little instrumental. The drumming on this is brilliant from Thomas. And great riffs. Up next, we have Valhalla, featuring Kai Hansen on vocals and playing the guitar solo. Now I do like this. This is something that could have been on the Walls of Jericho album, to be quite honest. Absolutely killer track. You know, and you got Hansi doing the vocals as well. Very, very good. And then the last track is a cover. It's a cover of a Demon song. Although this doesn't appear on the album, it's on the CD. But I've got the CD version, so it is in my thing. And it's Demons Don't Break the Circle. It's absolutely brilliant. They do it great justice. Good way to end the album. So this is a great second album, a great follow-up to the debut. This band did hit the ground running with their sound, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.8. But my number one album, there's very good reason for this. It's their sixth album from 1998, and it's called Nightfall in the Middle-earth, and it's a concept album based on Tolkien's The Silmarillion. And it's Hansi, Andre, and Marcus, and Thomas. Guest musicians on here. The wonderful Oliver Holsworth, who's a great bass player. Matthias Weisner again. We've got Michael Schuren on the grand piano. Max Zillner on flutes and alto flute. Norman Ishley and Douglas Fielding doing the narration like they did on that orchestral one. And the usual backing choir of Billy King, Rolf Koller, Olaf Schuckerbell and Thomas Hackman. So the first track on here is War of Wrath. This has got a battlefield feel to it with swords and it's like a great battle. If you know the story, you'll know what's going on. It sort of really sets the storm. And then we do get into the storm. Some fine guitar playing here from the boys. A great vocal from Hansi. Great track. The real first opening track. Then we have this little short piece called La Month. It's got sound effects, wind, which goes nicely into Nightfall, which has got some wonderful flute in here, an acoustic guitar. It's one of the more moving tracks on here. Some nice, delicate guitar work from Andre. Then we have the minstrel, which again, it's a minstrel thing. Very Middle-earth sort of minstrel work. And then we have the Curse of Fëanor. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. One of my favourite pieces on here. The vocal from Hansi is incredible. Got some nice riffs in there. Then we have this little thing called Captured. It's got a very evil laugh in it. And that goes straight into Blood and Tears, a wonderful guitar track. Very theatrical, dramatic. That goes into Mirror Mirror. I love the backing vocals on here. They make it so dramatic and give it that extra depth. Face the Truth comes next. It's more narration. Carries on with the story, which goes into Noldor, Dead Wing to Rains. Love the start of this. Crispy sounds. Very vocal, choral, dramatic as well. The chorals on this are brilliant. Then we have Battle of Sudden Flame. The flute and the minstrel sound. It's a very short piece, less than a minute. Wonderful little interlude piece. Then Time Stands Still at the Iron Hill. The guitar work from Andre and Marcus is superb. Thomas's drumming is just top draw. And then we have the Dark Elf, more Gregorian chanting, which is brilliant. Then we have my favourite track, Thorn. Oh, the keyboard on here is haunting. And it's Hansi's best vocal on the album. The Eldor, a beautiful track. The grand piano here from Michael Sheeran is wonderful. It just adds to it. The vocal from Hansi is out of the top drawer. Some nice backing vocals up as well. Nom the Wise, another little narration bit which goes into When Sorrow Sang, like the start of this. It's a nice little gentle start before you get that rolling power metal drum roll and the riffs. Great vocal from Hansi. Out of Water, harmonising little singing thing, which then goes into a little bit of Steadfast, which is a bit very English, sort of short piece. Then the Dark Passage. Second favourite track on here. I think Thomas's drums is good. The riffs are good. Hansi's vocal just adds to it. And then the final chapter. Thus Ends. Just sort of a narration thing that brings the book to an end. Now I think this is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't read the book, you really haven't got an idea what's going on. But if you've read the book, this is just a musical complement to it. You don't just put the one track on, you play this all the way through. I love listening to this. This is, of course, where Marillion got their name from. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. So there we go, folks. A great power metal band from Germany, and they're still going strong. Okay, that's all for today. It's going to be a real warm one today. We've been up since the crack of sparrow. Yeah, we went out for a walk round about 7 o'clock this morning. It was quite pleasant then, but it'll just get hotter, so that's why we do it first thing. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we've got a sophomore drone, and we've got a real good one. We've got David Bowie up against Electric Warrior from T-Rex. So a bit of a glammy one tomorrow. And also tomorrow we have got a top 10, and I can't remember. We're going to the USA for the top 10 of June 10th, 1977. So have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.